We're starting off high.
We can get
I
a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
no, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise a pack of wolves?
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. There we go. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Two Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
Hola.
The scene wouldn't transition.
That's because he's not patient.
Yo.
You need to be more virtuous, my brother.
You know, I had a very kind older woman once teach me how to pray for patience. And it was, Lord, give me patience and give it to me now.
All right, when he strike you and that old bitch down.
What's good, sir? How are you?
I'm all right. I mean, you know, I'm still kicking.
Still here, still standing, still
You know?
strong.
Getting stronger every day, baby.
I hear you. Oh, you know who's not getting stronger every day is the unfortunate end to the Buffalo Bills. Still a little heartbroken. Still a little heartbroken.
I know how that affects motherfuckers.
I am starting to feel like maybe the NFL is scripted. And they just continuously beating down Buffalo. Like Buffalo is that dude in the WWE who always comes so close to winning the title, only to get shat on.
if it is scripted, it's not written by the same writers that wrote all the little shits back in the day. Because everybody always wanted to see the guy get the girls. You know what I'm saying? Dawson's Creek, all that nonsense.
No, this is written by the fucking people who made Game of Thrones.
Could be.
The evil always wins.
Is it the evil though?
Yeah. Kansas City has transcended into evil. They've become the new Patriots. They're the only.
So let me. Oh no, I was just going. I didn't mean to cut you.
No, go for it. Go for it.
So So here's my thing, right? It's Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs. Both teams are very beatable.
Agreed.
Now, what happens if a few of the players say, "Fuck it, we going"?
Yeah. If they well, but here's the thing. Like similar to old WWE, it's the referees that make the decision. And you can always just throw a random holding flag or a random offsides or a random pass interference where the ball is still in Patrick Mahomes' hands.
But if you're perfect, you force them to expose themselves.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And my dad always used to say, "Why can't you be perfect?"
Well, and that's always my line. Like, when there's a bad call, especially in games that I'm coaching, Like when there's a bad call, it usually rights itself pretty quickly. In which case, my line is the ball don't lie.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, the better team's going to win out. Now, I can say that, but
you see,
I can also buy into the conspiracy that they're against the Buffalo Bills, and
I don't think it's so much that
we fed the pit.
I don't think it's so much that they're against the Buffalo Bills as much as it is they're for the Kansas City Chiefs.
That's fair. Especially with Tay-Tay. Yep.
They didn't. Well, last game they said that they brought the dude that be reffing the Chiefs games to the Bills home game. I said that's fucked up.
Right.
But they did that. This game they brought in a dude
who makes more calls against the home team than the away team.
Right. I said, damn, they are really trying to stack the deck.
They are. They want to see Patrick in Kansas City because they do better when kids are out there buying a Tom Brady jersey or a Patrick Mahomes jersey.
Lamar Jackson is LeBron James in a sense that if he doesn't do it himself, it doesn't get done.
Right. Well, I mean, Josh is the same way. Like, you saw that last week with Josh. That's why after Diggs and Sherfield dropped those balls, like, Josh ran the ball. Like, he said, fuck it, I'll do it myself.
He is on that spectrum, but the only difference is
he didn't win.
Josh can buy himself some time, handed it off to James Cook and them. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's not really nobody on, like, Gus Edwards is a dog, don't get me wrong, but you ain't been there consistently for my guy all year for him to be able to catch a breath and give it to you and let you take it for a while.
Right. All right. Enough sports talk. If you want sports talk, check us out over on Hit the Showers every Wednesday night.
I'm sure we're going to be going in this coming Wednesday.
Oh, man. So you got any inadvertent thoughts to get us going?
I guess I do.
All right.
So I've been watching The Warrior heavy again.
Okay.
You seen that?
Yeah.
I don't know why that's like been my go-to recently, but that's one of my favorite movies. That's probably top 3 favorite movies of mine all time. I don't care what nobody says.
I mean, that makes sense. It tracks.
And I know it might be like, like a cliche or a bro-y kind of, answer to give. But
I mean, so is Braveheart, so I get it.
Well, see, I like The Warrior because I have experienced variations of all those emotions that take place in that movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so it really tracks and certain things really kind of hit for me. But as I'm watching it recently, I'm realizing like my maturity that's come about, right? Because when you first watch the movie, everybody's rooting for the little brother.
Right.
Everybody wants Tommy to win. And, Tommy, although he might not be, the best person attitude-wise, he's for a good cause. He's about the family that, he believes stood by him type shit.
Yep.
But as I get older... even though I always, he's my favorite character of the movie, I find myself saying the older brother had to win.
Right.
And it wasn't, spoiler alert for anybody who hadn't seen it, but it wasn't because he was back on his rent, was going to lose his house or anything like that. It was just the fact that he had to release his brother. In a sense, you know what I'm saying? Like from life experiences, he built up enough anger and resentment that it's almost like how old folks say he had a demon on him.
Yeah.
He had something stuck to him that was keeping him that angry for that long. And his brother had to release him of that. Because he didn't have it the same way. And don't get me wrong, I understand, where it comes from. Because essentially you had the tougher life of the two of you. You know what I'm saying? So I get where the resentment comes from, but to hold on to it for that long, and go through that many years of life without softening up to some of the things you were upset about is kind of wild. And it took that extreme circumstance for him to realize I don't have to be this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I'm with you.
I don't know.
It's narratively, you're right. Like, that's what has to happen.
Right.
I mean, it's the same with, like, Rocky. Like, the first Rocky movie.
Why you say that? What's the comparison?
I think the comparison is that you expect Rocky to win.
Well, see, the difference is I don't think that's why I think that the writing or whatever, production, whatever was good, because you don't see Tommy losing.
Yeah.
You don't see Tommy losing at all. There's not, even when his arm gets broken and he goes back out with one arm, you're not thinking, oh, he's just going to lay down and lose. That's not how it works. It was at that moment you realize the older brother had to make the decision of, I have to take him out. Right. He's not going to stop until I take him out.
It's the Shawn Michaels getting ready to super kick Ric Flair and tearing up and saying, I'm sorry, right before he hits him with the sweet chin music.
That's exactly what it was, too. That's exactly what it was. And, like, I've been in those situations as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to that extent, of course. Right. It's a movie. But where it's like sometimes this is what's necessary.
Yeah.
And this is the only way I know how to show you love at the moment, to get you to understand this is necessary.
Right. This isn't the end all be all.
Right. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't care. And I know a lot of people might not be able to relate, but there's nothing like the understanding that you get after you've gone to war with somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all could be from two different places, have two different views and beliefs, but after you see the will of that person across from you, there's no way but to gain some mutual respect. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see people that were beefing or rivals go into a fight, and after the fight you see them hugging, because only they know what it took to get through that.
Right. Absolutely. And those are usually the best fights. Like, is where you see that animosity leading up to it, and then you see that, like, mutual respect afterwards.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, like, I know a lot of fights, like, that stuff is played up purely for publicity.
Yeah, entertainment purposes, trying to get money out of motherfuckers, build up a storyline and all that.
Yeah.
But
life imitating art, like imitating life.
There's nothing like that. I really don't understand, to be honest, why a lot of fighters don't fight their brothers.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of brother fights. And I understand you not wanting to hurt your brother. But
I feel like that ends up being just more like
at the end of the day, right. Like me and Chris has talked about that. And he kind of was at first leaning to the side of no, and he was like, you would fight me like if we was, and I said, hell fucking yeah. Why wouldn't I fight you? And this is what we do. Like, that's what we do. We fight.
Right.
You should be just as willing to go as I would. Like, why not? It's money. It's an extra opportunity. And nobody's really going to count the loss, because it's like he lost to himself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He lost to his own blood. That doesn't count.
Well, and I mean, is that the problem? Is that generally you don't see siblings on the same level? Or hell, even in the same weight class. Like, how many siblings have gotten to, the professional ranks in fighting?
I think the Millers, right? Wasn't it Matt and Dan Miller back in the day in the UFC?
Yeah.
They were around the same weight class, same age. I think they were like 2 or 3 years apart.
But maybe that's part of it too, because did they train in the same camp? Or did they have their own camps?
They might.
Yeah, that's always interesting.
Yeah, because one does usually have to go with a separate camp, or at least take a trainer out of that
Right.
camp to build a new group.
Right.
Because you don't want, or who gives a fuck?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's really how I feel about it, because if this is really what we do, it doesn't matter. You can be my sparring partner after this fight.
Yeah.
We can be in the same camp. You could be my sparring partner, and we could just figure it out all the way up to it. That builds more, shit anyway.
Right.
Because now it's like, yeah, I got you most of the time in sparring, but you know what I'm saying?
But when it was
I got
on the
you,
line, right.
Right. I got you on the way out. So what you think's gonna happen? Like you get that vibe from it. Like I just think everybody's so uptight nowadays. Like, but that's what money does to you.
It's true.
That's what money does to you, and the fear of losing the money.
So what else would rank in like your top favorite fight sport movies?
Fight sport movies, that The Price of Glory.
Okay.
The old boxing movie about the three Mexican brothers. The oldest brother was like the all-around fighter. The middle fighter was like the speedy fighter, and then the youngest brother was the beast. Like he was unbeaten, like nobody could stop him. And it ended up somebody tried to rob their gym, and the younger brother was in there, and he got shot and killed. So the best brother ended up dying, and then the other two, of course, pledged their careers to their younger brother, and some shit happened, and one of them ends up fighting for a championship. It's a good movie though.
Yeah.
Brian, you got my shit, motherfucker. I'm gonna get that from you too, bitch ass nigga. I was training him way back, and he was like, "What good boxing movies is there?" And I gave him some of my DVDs, like, watch these, and the motherfucker never gave them back to me. I'm gonna get them bitches too.
I think one of my favorites of all time has to be Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man is definitely up there. Definitely up there. See, I usually don't.
You're usually not like the Hollywood, like, mega production type.
Okay, so if it was just boxing movies,
yeah,
I would put Cinderella Man probably at my number one.
Yeah.
But since we mix fight sports, which I
overall.
don't usually do because I usually separate the two.
That's fair.
I would go with Warrior. Warrior's at the top of my list.
Yeah.
That motherfucker's so trill to me. And I can watch it over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And it can get a tear out of me every now and again, depending on how I'm feeling.
I mean, I get it. That on your left scene in Endgame still gets me.
I don't get that.
I mean, I hear you, but
yeah, I just don't get it.
Is everybody coming back?
Maybe I haven't even seen it like that. I mean, I know I've seen it, but maybe I didn't pay attention to it.
You have to be bought into like everything leading up to that point,
right?
And that's probably what kind of keeps.
Because because I'm not a fan of any of those. I kind of separate the movies. I don't think of them as one long storyline.
Yeah,
right. But I get it. I don't. I'm just saying.
What are your thoughts?
What are you
courteous? What are your? And I feel like we've talked about this, and I feel like your answer is not a fan. But Ali with Will Smith, I think that's one of Will Smith's best.
I do too. I couldn't stand the fact that they announced him as playing Ali for real. I was really bummed out about that. And then when I watched it, I was like, all right, he did all right. I can't be mad at that. I do agree, though, that is probably his best movie he's ever made.
Yeah.
He did all right. It didn't translate to that slap. That motherfucker trained for 6 months to slap Chris Rock like that. You slapped that nigga so weak. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. You slapped that nigga so weak, motherfuckers thought it was fake. Motherfucker was trying to figure out if it was fake or not.
Did you see the movie where it looks like it's based on?
The black and white joint.
Man.
That's what I'm saying. You can't trust nothing.
No.
You can't trust nothing. And I say that all the time. Nothing is as it seems. And I mean that in every facet of life.
Yeah.
Nothing is as it truly seems. And it's up to you to, figure it out.
Right.
I tell my daughter that shit all the time. You may think shit's one way.
It's funny. It's funny you bring that up because Andrew said something to me when we were walking in the house today, and it came off kind of random, but he was like, "You know why kids have to go to school?" And I'm like, "No, bud, why?" He's like, "Because parents have to get rid of us." And I'm like, "Yeah, but why do parents have to get rid of you?" He's like, "Because we annoy you." And I'm like, "No, because we're slaves to the fucking corporate demon overlords. Right. They require us to go to work. So they created a system to keep you ready to go into the workforce."
Right.
Wow. And he just looked at me. He's like, huh. Speaking
That's exactly
of which.
the truth. Motherfuckers would be able to tolerate. Listen, we gotta tolerate these motherfucking devils for 8 hours a day. I'm sure we can tolerate our kids for 6 if we have to go into this motherfucker.
So, speaking of the kiddo, this leads into my inadvertent. It's probably more a question, maybe a thought. I don't know. So
I might have an inadvertent answer.
So we were. I was waiting in the drop-off line. He and I were watching like TikTok videos because that's what we do while we wait for like the bell to ring or whatever.
Right.
And then when he got out of the car, I've been on, or this morning, I guess I was on a little bit of a like a 90s 2000s punk kick. And so when he got out of the car, and this shit just cracked me up. I started, Good Charlotte, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous came on as he was walking up to school. And I just thought it was so perfect knowing where he goes to school that I just started dying.
You out there.
Like, it looked like a scene out of the movie as he was walking out of the car.
I bet.
And so that led to my inadvertent thought, like, okay, cool, I just punked my son with Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous by Good Charlotte walking into fucking his elementary school. What other songs could you punk somebody with?
It depends on what you mean by punk.
I mean, just something that's like so perfect for the moment that would go over someone else's head. Like, I don't know. Or what's your perfect like soundtrack moment for like an everyday life thing? give
me like a experience, a life example, and I'll give you my song for it.
All right. I mean, what's the intro song for the Sweet Tea Party? Dude going to work, stops at the gas station to get his lottery ticket. The lottery machine's down. What song is playing in the background during the intro credits?
1,000 Miles.
Making my way downtown.
Yeah, 1,000 miles in that. Yep.
I don't think that's right, Cliff.
No, it is.
He says no, it is.
It is.
So that's what song's going on while Carl goes and gets his lottery ticket. The machine's busted. And so,
yep. and then it
I wish a motherfucker would.
Into the sky. That's as you see the little nigga diving into the water. You see him dive? Look past me by.
So we're showing scenes from the movie during the intro credits. I got you.
Yeah, I mean,
that whole Tarantino joint we got going on. Oh man, I'm trying to think what other situation. Let's see.
It can be an everyday situation,
right?
Like an everyday life situation.
Somebody going out for their smoke break.
Smoke break song?
Yep.
I'm going Styles P, I Get High.
I get high.
Yep.
Yep. A dad stepping up to coach his son's team. I need a hero.
I need a hero tonight.
He's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be tough, and he's gotta be fresh from the fight. Oh man!
You step out there with a clipboard and leg warmers.
The high socks. Oh man! What else? What else we do?
What other
Grocery shopping. Grocery shopping.
Grocery shopping. That's a good one. Let me think. That is a good one right there. I'm going Adele. Someone like you.
Someone like you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can get behind it. But really, this was all about just having the punk kick this morning, because I went from Good Charlotte to Yellow Card in Ocean Avenue. Let's see what the playlist did. Yep.
You wasn't on TikTok. You was on your old school playlist.
Well, no, I did. This was after TikTok. I went on my own old school playlist joint. Ohio is for Lovers by Hawthorne Heights.
Love that song.
I can't make it on my own.
'Cause I can't make it on my own.
'Cause my heart is in Ohio.
Man, that shit hot, man.
A little Sum 41. Dude, I loved some Sum 41 back in the day.
I don't know if I was too much of a fan.
Oh, dude, some of their just their...
Wait, name me some songs.
Fat Lip, In Too Deep, The Hell Song.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure I wasn't a fan.
I don't know. It's hard not to be a fan. All right.
I don't know. Maybe if I heard
we'll probably get a... Good thing we don't make any money on this, because we're going to get demonetized. Give me one moment.
It don't matter. I only need 3.5 seconds to know.
That's true. So this one is the Hell Song.
Nope. I can't hear it.
Oh, it doesn't play through to you? Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I can't even hear that motherfucker.
Oh, all right. That's weird. It should. I don't know. Yeah. So, well, I thought we had a phone call that came through on it one time. I don't know. But yeah, so that's one. Linkin Park popped up a couple of times. You know I'm a Linkin Park fan. Oh, and then Blink 182.
I remember Blink.
Right? And what was the last one? Oh, Offspring, Pretty Fly for a White
Didn't that
Guy.
where Travis Barker came from?
Right, yep.
That's what I thought.
And then Offspring, Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Give it to me, baby. Yeah, I know you like that song.
Oh, and then Girl All the Bad Guys Want. Bowling for Soup.
Listen, I don't know nothing about half of them.
I feel like you would know them if I could get them to play.
I bet. And some of them I only knew the titles, but the song didn't pop in my mind.
Right. I'm trying to see if there were any other ones, any other good ones. Oh, and OAR, Crazy Game of Poker. Come on now.
I don't.
You don't know that song?
See?
Oh, OAR is a Columbus group.
I don't know anything about none of that.
Oh, man. See, I never really went through an emo phase, but I dated some girls that were going through some emo phases.
I mean, don't get me wrong, though. Some of them emo songs is hot.
Oh, no. Distinct memory. Singed in my mind. Sitting at your house, in your room, and Papa Roach comes on.
Oh, yeah.
Cut my life into
I
pieces.
fucked with that when it first came out. I did. It was really that beat and everything, man. I would have loved to get an instrumental of that.
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, did they have anything else? I feel like they had one or two other songs, but that's the only one I ever remember.
Papa Roach?
Yeah.
Hell no. They had... the lead singer had that MTV show after that. They was like, don't kill yourself. We'll give you a deal.
We'll get you a deal.
I'm sorry. Don't unalive yourself.
Unalive.
We'll give you a deal.
You You can't say kill yourself. Is
MTV.
That's not something we can say anymore.
Yeah, I think that's something you can't say anymore. I don't know. I try to,
Oh yeah, you're the epitome of trying to stay up on PC culture.
Right. But the things that I remember, I'll give it a shot.
You do try. Try.
We'll see how long it sticks. But listen, y'all hoes is soft for real. That's the long and the short of it. Like, I don't understand how we swerved away from the sticks and stones culture, and now you can't even say the wrong.
You can't hurt someone's feelings.
You can't even say how I feel I am. You don't.
No, that's all you can say.
How I feel I am, I'm disrespected.
I mean, I've had a lot of conversations.
I'm like, bitch, I can't maneuver and manage my own feelings. How the fuck do you expect me to worry about yours? The fuck is I could go Zoloft for one of us, and clearly I don't got none.
I could go two different ways with this. I could talk about recent experiences and trying to deal with people and their feelings, which will probably get me in trouble. Or I could talk the general culture that women want a strong man who's in touch with his feelings, but as soon as he brings up his feelings, he's made to feel like the bad guy. And both of those conversations will get me in trouble. So
you and Gordon got midlife divorced gripes. Like,
yeah, but I'm not quite as far on the pendulum as our boy is, so.
Man, I be like, God damn, who hurt you, my dude?
Right.
Who hurt you, bro?
Oh, man. Feelings. How about that?
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I don't got.
I mean, my whole answer, like, even with A-Reg, I'm like, dude, you're allowed to have feelings. You're allowed to express them.
Right,
like,
just know that they're not real.
Right, and they're temporary.
Right, they're not, and that's what makes them not real.
Right.
Of course, they're real in the moment. They're real in the instance. But anytime you can have severe kind of emotions and then you can wake up the next morning and don't feel those, that means that it wasn't real in the first place.
Right. Well, and I saw a great line the other day, and it's something that I believe fully is that you can't control your emotions, but you can control how you respond to them.
No, definitely. I definitely agree with that. And half the times that I feel like
And I have to have this conversation a fair amount around, yes, I feel feelings. I just choose to not feel them as strongly as others choose to feel them. And it is a choice. The fact of
identifying what they are, because, certain feelings, like you amplifying them can be a benefit, but others, which you're usually most likely in the realm of, they're unnecessary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's it. They're unnecessary. Like, you can feel whatever it is you choose to feel. But understand, first and foremost, that it's fleeting.
Yep.
Regardless of the feeling. And that's kind of,
No, it's true, though. Like, they talk about it. I mean, poly community especially, the term NRE, new relationship energy, like,
right,
that's real. Like, and that can be fun to ride that wave, but also understand eventually that wave is going to come down. Like,
and that's real in multiple arenas, right? That's real aside from relationships. It's real in your work environment. Yep. It's real in some family instances. It's real, like I said, in multiple arenas. Like, and the sign, and this is why I say, like, you already know, I don't believe in the concept of marriage. Well, that's a lie. I believe in the concept of
it's
marriage.
A partnership. It's a business partnership.
Right. There you go. Say that, but not whatever they have
true love
going on there.
And blah, blah,
but the
blah.
reason why I really don't see myself ever getting married, to keep it a buck, is because I don't want to judge you based off of the good times.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want to judge you off of the rock bottom situations.
Yep.
And I would hope, at least in the 3 to 5 year relationship we have, we may only run into 2 to 3 rock bottom situations, if that.
Yeah.
Which lets me know that it's going to take me at least 5 years to understand how you react, if I am compatible with you when you're in that state.
Yeah.
All of those things, and vice versa, mind you. So at this point, like, it's just like, what's in it for me exactly?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that sounds weird, and it may even sound weirder than a lot of women, but what you got to understand is a lot of men are thinking that way nowadays.
No doubt.
What exactly is in it for me? Okay. So basically I mean, let's just be honest. You pushed too far. You've pushed too far. Men had an understanding how it was back before, and I'm not saying that we didn't understand that things were going to evolve, and then women went to this whole independent way of doing things, which is absolutely fine, and I commend you for doing it, even though you fell into the trap of the fucking inbreds who wanted to collect your tax returns as well.
Yeah.
But the fact that you wanted to do it, I salute you. You feel what I'm saying? But then it got to the point that I want to be independent, and whomever that I choose to court should be taking care of me as well.
Right.
Hold up
now.
Hold
the fuck up. You realize that marriage is based on submission, right?
It's not even about submission with me, right? I don't even need you to submit to anything. Well, I mean, you know, generally speaking. But my whole thing is, if you fought so hard to be a counterpart of mine, then there should be no submission. There should be an equality going on. And if you expect me to do everything, as in pay bills, pay for dates, pay for trips, pay for all this, but you're still collecting your money and not using any of it, and not using any of it for our situation, then what you're then doing is creating a contingency plan, which lets me know that you're not all in this from the jump, because I'm giving everything that I have to show you that I'm willing to be interested, yet you can keep everything that you have and not put back into me as well. That's a problem.
If you want a traditional relationship and a traditional marriage, you better be a traditional woman.
You better fly to the Philippines. No, I'm just playing.
Like, I mean, ultimately at the end of the day, because there's nothing in it for us as men. There isn't. We take on all of the risk. And
then you think about the consequences, and
we
it
get
doesn't
fucked.
work out. Right. It's just not worth it.
You want to know why? Like, I will never be in that situation again? That right there. I will never be put in a situation again where it is my risk and my risk alone in being in a marriage.
It's just not worth it. Like I said, you know, maybe you need to adopt the motherland culture. And like I said, I'll jump the broom with you. We can jump the broom in front of family and friends, and we know what that means to us. But this is
not a legal partnership. Like, no.
Again, as far as getting these inbred devils involved in what we got going on, why should they be anyway?
Right.
They're not providing any extra pussy or any extra dick to this situation. So why the fuck are they in it?
Right. Well, and what's interesting, so while we've been on this conversation, and that's why I picked up my phone, I had a notification come through. It was just one of those, like, Reddit, like, hey, here's your most recent Reddit threads or whatever. And the thread, coincidentally enough, was Gen Z girls are becoming more liberal while boys are becoming more conservative. You want to know why? Because you have forced us down that route. That is why.
It's beyond that too. I mean, of course, that plays a part in it, but they have been bottle feeding motherfuckers for years. Ever since Yo MTV Raps, they were bottle feeding these women on how they wanted them to be. Now you got the women calling, making booty calls, trying to get dick. Not saying that didn't happen before, but at this rate, it's like you've reversed the roles.
Which honestly, like, you want me to be a stay-at-home dad? Cool.
Nah, that could never be me.
No, I'm with you. You know that
could
true.
Never be me, and it's not because I couldn't do it, because I'm sure I would have a home hustle as well.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like not like what you're doing is you're building. It's again, it's a contingency plan. You're getting everything set up for yourself. Meanwhile, I'm getting by off of these twos and few home hustles that I got going on. So if anything ever happens, I'm now asked out. And because I'm a man, I wouldn't look to no fucking court system to try to get me alimony in any situation. Right. No, I get it myself.
Right.
Well, I just wish I knew I was in this situation with this person prior to committing to the lesser of the two roles.
Well, and what's interesting there is, like, and this is going to sound terrible, but the only way you get me back in that situation is with a contract that says you will get free room and board, you will get free utilities, your expectations are to manage the household, clean, cook, whatever, and sex is on the table. Other than that, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. That's the contract.
Nah, listen, that's two other side of the coin for me.
Two other side of the coin? How so?
Because it's like, and I'm not trying to, like...
No, I mean, if this is a business, if marriage is a business relationship, those are my terms. Those are my terms and conditions.
But I'm saying, though,
you have to do something to contribute, and I will handle things financially otherwise. And if you choose to leave, you choose to leave.
How Nothing do you changes. Then express your dominance?
That is dominance right there.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
by putting the agreement into place.
That vibe right there, and I know this sounds crazy,
and I'm just, and to be,
I know there's gonna be a lot of women saying
facetious here, like this isn't serious, but go ahead.
I get it, but it's gonna be a lot of women saying like, "Oh, he's being overly masculine," or whatever the case may be. But I just feel like in those situations, like, even like going into the bedroom, like, how can I then be the lion that I am, knowing that I just pulled off my apron to accommodate you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that gives me, you about the Amazon fucking. Oh no!
Vibes. See, you're
like, I gotta lay on my back and kick my legs up.
I think you misheard me on that. The only thing she is accountable for is to manage the house, cook, clean. Really, that's it. I will take care of everything else. And
I understand what you were saying. Okay, because I was okay.
Like, that is the contract. Those are the terms and conditions. Like, I
was wondering when you said the only way I'll ever go back to that, because I was thinking, when the fuck was you a stay-at-home dad?
No. This was like to consider marriage again.
I get what you're saying. Okay, I follow exactly. Now, I don't give a fuck how you get down. The
REITs chiming in with section only be on the table. It could be everywhere.
I love my REITs, man.
Cheers. Cheers.
I swear I love my REITs. Fools agree on that. Fools agree. And my REITs, you a fool too. You understand that? No, I agree.
The REITs is coming in town soon. Maybe we can get her to join an episode for once.
I have to be in person for that. When is it? I gotta hurry up and get everything moved.
It's either next weekend or the following weekend. I can't remember which.
Hopefully this little renovation is done by the end of next week.
Nice.
I gotta go over there and mark spots like for light switches and plugs and cable ports and all that tomorrow. The electrician's supposed to be over there, so
cool. Good stuff.
it should be done by next week, and then I should be able to get it painted and start getting shit moved in so I can be done with all the nonsense. At least then I know I'll be a little bit away, but I still be through once I have things set up.
Yeah. You're good, dude. Oh man, that was quite the tangent. I don't know how we got there.
Cause you and Gordon got somebody hurt y'all.
That's where it started. Was you calling out Gordon and I? Yeah, well. I mean, listen, here's the deal.
Everybody gets hurt. Everybody been hurt, and everybody that has not will be.
No doubt.
But there ain't no point in holding on.
But that's
this shit.
But that's kind of my whole point. Is that people looking for a traditional relationship should hold to traditional values. Otherwise, that's not really what you're looking for.
That's the issue, though. That's the problem in itself, right? Is because we don't live in a traditional world.
Completely agree. Which is why I'm completely against the institution at this point.
Which is why a lot of people feel that way. Because in order to survive in a non-traditional world, you have to resort to non-traditional tactics.
Right.
And that's what you're seeing these women do. And to keep it a buck, that's what you're seeing these men do.
Right.
And that's why everything's turned on its axis at the moment.
No doubt.
Does it ever recover? I don't know that it does, but maybe that makes it easier down the line.
You know how it recovers? How it recovers is less children being born, and then the children are only born to traditional families and traditional values. All right, so
that makes sense.
Shifting gears, unless you got more on that topic.
Hell no, hell no. That topic don't got nothing to do with me. I'm retired from it. I might dabble a bit, but I ain't playing. I'm not in the game, baby. I am on the practice squad. Call me
and
up
I respect
when you
that.
need me.
I respect that.
I'm Joe Flacco. I'm not fucking Pat Mahomes.
Fantastic. Oh, and the Reach chiming in with, it's a great institution, but who wants to be in an institution? Reach dropping truth bombs tonight.
That was so perfectly said. That was so perfectly said.
I'm glad she's our one fan.
Man, that was perfectly said right there.
Oh, man. All right.
Why would they even call it that to begin with?
I mean, it used to be
like
it didn't used to be a secular thing. It used to be religious and tribal.
This is like motherfuckers say, this is spells. They got me questioning cussing.
What?
Yeah, and you know, I can't stop. Like, I can't stop cussing. I don't know what it is. Like, I just can't stop. I feel like, what other words could I use to express myself to that depth? But then, like, certain things that I hear about cuss words, and especially looking at the English language and how they say that what you say means things. Of course, I know that. But, like, when you think about the actual spells that you put on yourself, you start to question using that vernacular.
Have you seen... And this is a question, because there is a TikTok that is all about that, where it is the one I saw today was like cross your fingers or whatever, and he goes into like a whole incantation that's based on.
No, I haven't.
And it wasn't to ward devils; it was to call devils to your aid.
And that makes sense, though, right? Because you're crossing your fingers like this.
Right.
You're not crossing your fingers like this.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because if anybody, like, if I didn't know how to use, like, if I didn't know the meaning of how we use our appendages, and you said cross your fingers, the first thing I would do is like something like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do this.
Right.
So this clearly means something is stuck to you.
Yep.
Something is holding on or gripping you. Why are you crossing your fingers like that? But to give another example, the dude said, You should never say good morning. Because in English language, like, of course, you know, the morning is the morning.
Is it a morning to be good, or is it, or would you wish me a good morning? There's a whole fucking Gandalf speech about this. Go ahead.
Well, think about what you're saying, though. You're saying good morning. You're mourning the day as soon as it starts. The first thing on your mind is me mourning the day I've been provided.
It's true.
And if you say that to everybody that you come in contact with on your way to your commute to work, how many motherfuckers did you put some juju on? Because everybody didn't have a good day. When you start to ask people, they say, yeah, it wasn't a good day for me. So we having more and more bad days.
So we should go with the Irish of top of the morning.
Top of the morning. You're still morning. You're at the top of your morning. You know what I say now, since I've heard that?
What's that?
Good morrow.
Good morrow.
Mm-hmm. And everybody laughs at me when I say it too, but I say good morrow now. And I found out that good morrow was invented by the church. I don't know for what reason, but when you start to think what motherfuckers is saying good morning to you, it makes sense that they was like, nah, you gotta come back this morning, kid. God gave you life, be happy about it. It's a good morrow, not a good morning.
Top of the day.
And that makes sense because it's tomorrow. So when you say good morrow to somebody, at least in my eyes, that means that you're extending grace to them, not only for today, but into the next.
Into the next. I like it. I like it. I like it.
That's just my rationalization upon it all, you know, but I don't know that I know shit. I just know what makes
now I'm
me
second guessing all those good morning texts that
world.
get sent in the morning.
You know what I'm saying? What do you have me morning, bitch? What, did we use a condom last night?
Always. Not always. Anyways.
I'll just make sure whomever it is that I'm entangling with.
After 3 months, I get to the 3 to 6 month mark.
But the only difference is you got a P in front of y'all's relationship and not an M. You know what I'm saying? This isn't monogamy. This is polyamory. So we don't know what the fuck she's doing when she ain't with you. And we don't know what the fuck he or she lying about when she ain't with them. It's all too much for me, baby. I'll sit out.
Hey, that's why I get tested quarterly, man.
Yeah.
That catches it after the fact. I understand.
I'm just saying, don't let a bitch, you getting tested, don't let a bitch test your patience and you wake up with something and you like, oh shit.
Well, what I will say is that community is pretty upfront about a lot of that stuff.
Listen,
if they're actually practicing.
If I'm in a polyamorous relationship and I wake up with battle scars on my soldier, I'm going on a serial choking spree. A serial one.
Is Clifford gonna have to choke a bitch?
Is it multiples? Am I gonna have to choke a Scooby-Doo web of people connected to you? So-and-so didn't even fuck you, but because so-and-so fucked you, who fucked so-and-so, I gotta choke so-and-so too. I don't know where the root of this plan is.
Right.
I'm serial with it.
So serial.
Kellogg in this bitch.
Oh man. So question.
Nah, I'm done. I don't even know what we was talking about. You just clicked me on this. Give me what's the question?
Who owns majority stock? Majority stock, and yeah, that answer pretty much works for anything that follows.
Yep.
Who owns BlackRock?
Vanguard is a competitor, but aren't they still connected? They still have the same. No, they're together. Vanguard owns BlackRock.
Merrill Lynch and Vanguard. Put it this way. Merrill Lynch, Vanguard, Bank of America, BlackRock all own each other and all own 98% of what you see in stores.
Mm-hmm.
My question is to what end?
Like,
are we moving towards like the by and large from Wall-E? Are we moving towards like the mega-corporation that like there's only one company that provides our goods? Because guess what? Fact of the matter is that we're already there.
Right.
But why?
Right. You know what?
There was a dude. Go ahead.
What were you about to say?
No, I was gonna say there's a dude on TikTok who basically will go to like drugstores and grocery stores and show you that like out of all the brands there, like it's one half of a shelf that is not owned by Unilever, Procter & Gamble, you know, all these companies that are owned by BlackRock, Vanguard, Merrill Lynch, Bank of America. And Merrill Lynch is actually listed as an insider of BlackRock, which means they own the controlling stake. And Merrill Lynch is owned by Bank of America.
So many things flood through my head.
Let's hear them.
Hold up. Give me a second, because it's so much going on. I have to pinpoint on just one. So I know everybody's aim or interest is placed upon the upcoming presidential election.
Yeah. Which really means nothing. Because
nothing at all.
The president doesn't control anything. The fucking Congress
I've been saying that. How many years I've been saying that, Mike? And motherfuckers was trying to vilify me for saying I wasn't voting. How many fucking years have we been doing this?
My comments to you about voting have nothing to do with the presidential. It has to do with the local. And guess what?
And
we won locally.
I have been, and I've been active in that.
We got abortion re-legalized, so I don't have to worry about sleeping around. And we got weed legalized, although you can't fucking find it or buy it anywhere here.
Listen to this mother. Oh my, how the tables have fucking turned. How the historical timelines have shifted.
Did we jump timelines again?
You hear what I'm saying? CERN Collider must have done something. Because you heard the white man say that. You hear me say that. You
finally got us on your side, Cliff.
Listen, my shit tucked. My shit in the motherfucker. My shit ain't even tucked in a holster. My shit in a gun case. You hear what I'm saying? That bitch in the case, baby. It's gonna take a lot for me to blow the dust off that motherfucker and bring this bitch out. You hear what I'm saying? You talk about legalizing abortion so you could just bust off in your polyamorous relationship. Listen, there might be a few motherfuckers on a choking spree in y'all's relationship, and based on how big the web is, that could be 8 motherfuckers. I'm just playing. I don't know nothing about what you do.
That's for the
But
best.
I watch Scooby-Doo, and I know how each villain can be connected to the next based off of, and that web gets very big, very quick, is all I'm saying. You know, it's funny, in that, I saw that, and I immediately equated it to sex.
Yeah.
Because I was old enough at the time when they started putting shit like that out. Like, I was already having sex. And I was thinking like,
yeah, way to brag. Go ahead.
Fuck. I mean, that ain't bragging.
I remember being at Wyandotte Lake, now Zumbizi Bay, with you, and the lifeguard telling you what pretty eyes you had.
But that don't got nothing to do like bullshit. My eyes penetrated her or anything.
I don't know how you black folks work.
Now the thing is, you don't know how you ain't seen too many black folks with white folks' eyes. So when
That's
white
true.
folks see black folks with white folk eyes, they immediately get intrigued.
Right, especially women.
Even ladies of my own race be like, "That was contacts." See, they don't ever say you got pretty eyes.
They calling you out on your bullshit.
You be like, "Nah, you think okay." That's what it.
I had that conversation with somebody the other day. I'm like,
as soon as I hear them as contacts, I'd be like, "In there, what's going on? Let me."
That's my favorite line is to tell a girl she has pretty eyes and then be like, almost as pretty as mine, but
this nigga still negging hoes in 2024. Let me find out hoes still getting negged in 2020. That is crazy. That's crazy. But I mean, listen.
So what's the reason, Cliff? What's Mega-corp doing that sits behind all of these corporations? Is it just research? Like, is it just the money? Is that all it is? Is that all the motivation?
I joke about it. Well, I know y'all think I joke about it, but it is these inbred motherfuckers at the end of the day. And you know exactly who I'm talking about. And they're inbreds.
They're trying to protect the Anunnaki bloodline. They're the ones who were left behind.
If that's what you think, that motherfucker ain't nothing about them Naki. I knew maybe, no Naki. The fuck?
I don't know, man. I watched Stargate again today, and
nah, they was just that. You know how it go. Like you seen every movie, right? Like every movie where the strengths change from one side to another. There's always that Weasley little motherfucker that gives information or does something to get on regards, and if they don't kill him, they usually keep them close to give them more information.
Yep.
That's what these motherfuckers are. The Rothschilds. I'll put a name on it. All these motherfuckers that are still running everything as we speak are the people I'm speaking of. They're the inbreds.
Well, and you look at, I'm sure you've seen if you trace every single president's genealogy back far enough, they all spurn from the same British ruler. Right.
It's easy to find the same DNA when you are inbred, motherfucker. Right. We know exactly what we're looking for. We don't have to search your father or nothing.
It's the matriarchal bloodlines that are the problem. Everybody
you know what I'm saying?
That's why women take the father's name, is because the mom is the one that actually connects the bloodlines.
That's interesting, huh?
They do it to dilute and try to distract you from the fact that all those motherfuckers come from the same line.
Or
they do it through the mothers.
Direction. Right.
They do it through the maternal side. I mean, that's the same theory from, like, whatchamacallit, too. Like, Da Vinci Code was the same thing. Like, it's not that it's passed down through the father's name, it's passed through the mother's bloodline. Which explains why my mom's a vampire.
And why do kids get their father's blood?
They do, but they don't. So they get it's not even that they get their father's blood, it's that they get their father's name to distract you from the bloodline, to take you off the scent of the bloodline.
Well, I'm just saying that because I have my father's blood.
Yeah.
Karma has my blood, but Karma doesn't have her mom's blood, and I don't have my mom's blood.
That's not accurate. Genetically.
Well, blood type, I'm saying. But if I had her blood, I would have her blood type. Why do I have his blood type, and why does she have mine?
Because blood type doesn't actually matter.
I mean, I don't know. I this is all a fucking mystery to everyone, but That was just interesting. I
mean,
how
many? I have a question.
I don't know. Well, go ahead.
People in general look more like their father or more like their mother?
It depends. My aunt always used to say it depends on who was working harder in the bedroom when you was conceived.
Oh, I don't know. I don't like that answer at all because I look like my mom.
Listen, she said everywhere, not just.
Oh man,
I love you, Reeds.
terrible.
I'm just saying, but that makes a lot of sense. Shit, when she said it, I said that I know you was out there working because every one of your kids look just like you. I said except for two of them, and you know who I'm talking about. She said, "Oh yeah, he got me." She ignorant.
That's funny.
She ignorant. I love her to death. What was I about to say though?
I don't know. I interrupted you.
Oh no, I was about to say I don't know that there's really any way to stop it other than just to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, you gotta eliminate all the descendants. The problem is they spread like fucking wildfire.
That's what and beyond that, these motherfuckers is so protected, so mysterious, so all that. I mean, you can see no, I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Fill in what you believe I was about to say. But they have a weird look. But what I'm saying is they're so protected that you ain't going to touch them.
Yeah.
Even if war popped off, right?
And they're not going to be anywhere near the front lines.
Listen, even if war popped off and the meek inherited the earth, you still wouldn't get them.
Yeah.
Only thing that may be able to help you out is when they pop back up out that motherfucker. I joke about mouth being see-through. These motherfuckers gonna look like vampires. And I'm sure motherfuckers gonna drive stakes through their motherfucking ass just off of the look alone.
Leave us pale people alone, Cliff.
I'm just saying. Just think about that, though. You've been in a bunker for a good 5 to 10 years. Right. I bet you better have a UV light, motherfucking. What are they? A botany? What is that? One of them rooms?
Hydroponic.
They better have something, motherfucker. You better be growing weed down there, and you better lay under that motherfucker with the plants.
So, speaking of things popping off, have you seen what's going on in Texas right now?
Yes, I have. I love Texas. Stand strong.
You think Texas is going to secede?
Hell no.
They're already fighting the federal government.
Hell no. Nor should they.
No. They need to come fight for everybody else around them.
Nor fucking should they. But I've been seeing a lot of posts talking about Texas could kick off the Civil War. The
American Civil War.
Yeah, and I'm all for that. Like, I feel like that's overdue. My only concern is, now Texas is getting
but Civil War, we need to not fight each other. We need to fight federal government.
Right, but that's what it's going to take, though, right? Like, they're not, like, it's not fighting each other at the moment until the army comes in and they start exchanging rounds. But at the same time, how many people in the army feel like,
well, it's how brainwashed are they, right?
Right, like, and I'm sure there are some, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is those first shots are going to be wake-up calls.
Well, yeah, it's the whole shot heard around the world kind of deal.
For people on both ends. And you're going to see a lot of motherfuckers in the army like, oh, no, I'm not for this.
Right.
I'm going with my family. And you're going to see a lot of family motherfuckers that are like, oh, I'm offended. We coming. My only concern would be, could this be the diversion to get the big guy out of there first? You know what I'm saying? Like whenever you in a situation where you fighting a lot of people or a lot of people fighting you,
a war on multiple fronts. Yeah.
It's usually get the big guy out of there first, and we'll take care of the rest of them.
Yeah.
And that's what you would be doing if you did that in Texas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Completely.
But don't mind me, I'm not no Napoleon, I'm just his height.
I think it's interesting. I'm with you. I don't know that it means anything unless rounds are exchanged.
Yeah, once rounds are exchanged, that's going to be a wake up for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And the question is, because I seen this on the internet too, that they was like, they can shut down power grids with the click of a button.
Yep.
Is that where you get the illusion of an EMP hit?
Where they just shut it down.
Right. So they're not even blaming it on themselves.
I mean, possible. I mean, here's the flip side. They could be like the rolling blackouts and brownouts in California could have been test beds for all that kind of shit too.
I didn't hear anything about that.
I mean, that's like commonplace in Cali.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I ain't know nothing about that. My only other, and I hate to just be thinking, but this is how my mind goes when I bet I could have been a good tactician, but
well, you might still have the opportunity, Cliff.
You stupid. What if this is the introduction of that COVID strain, the 100% mice kill shit? You know what I'm saying? Shit get too thick. We ain't sending in no troops. You gonna see a motherfucking plane fly over thinking they dropping chemtrails, and it's really that 100% COVID strain.
So interesting that you bring that up, because that was actually a inadvertent thought I had last week that I couldn't remember. You just triggered it for me.
I tend to do that. I tend to trigger people.
Right, you do tend to trigger people.
I'm working
the COVID vaccine. What if it's real and it isn't an inoculation against COVID? Because then they believe that those are the people they can control.
What do you mean?
Meaning the COVID vaccine was really a vaccine, is
right.
really a vaccine. And to your point that you just made around like a more direct killer variant of COVID, and the only people that survive it are the ones that have the vaccine because
they know that
that they can control those people.
I mean, that could be.
I don't like getting into like vaccine conspiracies, but if there were a conspiracy, that seems more plausible to me than like it's a kill switch that they can activate anytime.
Nigga, you know how I rock. Fuck it, what you waiting on? You hear what I'm saying? I choose death. It's a very easy choice for me. It is not even about a vaccine situation. It's about a pure fight situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do nothing against, bioweapons.
Right.
But if the United States are willing to drop bioweapons on its own citizens, and I was about to say lucky, excuse me, that's a little morbid. But if I'm one of the ones that get taken out by it, shit, at least it's confirmation that these motherfuckers is, really willing to do that to its people. And if that's not the ignition.
Right, what is?
But right now, it ain't about me. It's about Texas.
Yeah.
Texas would be the, target one, so to speak, if you really wanted to clear some motherfuckers out there. But another question is, based off of the science behind it, how easily does it travel and how long does it live? Because that could create a bigger issue that y'all didn't quite want to go down yet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want it to wipe out half of the country. And then you like, well, we had these real good plans for fucking spaceships in the sky and direct energy weapons, but now I guess we're gonna have to put that on hold until these motherfuckers start populating back up again.
So on the direct energy weapon front, did you see the news out of the UK?
No, I did not.
They confirmed existence of the Dragonfire direct energy weapon. They can basically light anything up within. They didn't give the full, but they basically said at least within a mile, they can pretty much light anything up and take it out of the sky.
Out of the sky,
right? Well, because that's the way it's angled.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, that seems like, that's America is so backwards.
But the USA already has it if UK is going public with it, right?
I'm sure they do, but that's the thing about it. That's how you know how crooked, evil, and wicked this country is that the UK would go public and say they have a defense system that they're confident in.
Right.
And the United States would keep it secret and use it to displace so many people out in Hawaii. That's the most wicked shit that I never heard or conceived about this country in my natural existence.
Tell you what. So direct energy weapons are real. We know that for a fact now. The crazy thing about it...
who said that we didn't know it before?
But crazy thing about it is... And here's the stat that I saw. It costs basically $10 to fire versus a Tomahawk missile that costs millions of dollars to fire.
Well, wait.
And you got to know that this isn't something that's just a stationary. Like, they have a mobile version of this shit.
What are you comparing this to as far as the $10 to fire?
I mean, when you're talking about the cost of the weapon itself, like the cost of the weapon is millions of dollars in research, probably millions of dollars to manufacture.
You're just talking about the energy it takes to
actually be able to send a shot versus like if you're using missiles, those missiles cost like $15 million a pop. But we're talking about a weapon that costs like $10 to fire. And that's just the one that we know about that is a stationary thing.
Now, you know what? I downed America in that last statement. But I will prop them up in my next. Because I guarantee you, like you said, if motherfuckers are just now releasing that they got these motherfuckers as anti-air weapons, like you said, the United States had them for years.
Right.
So if these motherfuckers start putting satellites in the sky, I guarantee you the United States uses our tax dollars to put 2 satellites assigned to that one satellite for even if it charges up, they blow it out the sky.
No doubt.
Now, that is what I will say that my country is good for. But other than that, as far as his people, that's a motherfucking shame. Y'all bitches will take care of satellites over the people that inhabit this bitch.
No doubt.
Satellites got better health insurance than we got. You hear what I'm saying? That shit is fucking wild. This is crazy. God bless Texas.
It's nuts, man. We are living in crazy times.
It's interesting to be in them.
Yeah. Well, and when you're thinking about the instant possibility of death every second, we are also seeing like huge advances and leaps in just like energy technology as well. And so
Right.
the whole I mean,
And that's a plus in itself.
As much as I hate to admit it, the book that we talked about 3 years ago, about the 2020s being the decade of
destruction,
hope or utopia or oblivion,
right.
like it really seems to be coming true.
Nigga, we didn't need no book. You know what? I could have typed the book and buried it in what's the name, and they'd have called me a motherfucking
Nostradamus.
You hear what I'm saying?
Negrodamus over here.
If you didn't think motherfuckers ain't see this shit coming a mile away.
But it does make it interesting.
It really started with 9/11.
Yeah.
Really started with 9/11 when that shit happened and they pulled it off. And they didn't just pull it off. There were a lot of people that questioned. But what they did was a good job of making the people that question look or sound crazy.
Yeah.
And now that all the shit's coming back from way back to them tapping Martin Luther King and killing Malcolm X and all, they bringing back all the shit. So now motherfuckers is looking like, maybe I understand what they was coming from.
Right.
Ain't no turning back from that. And that's what they're worried about. That's why these motherfuckers is in bunkers. And that's why all of this shit is happening as a whole. Other than biblically, prophecies are coming true.
Well, and that's where, my head goes to is, in terms of history and known history versus unknown history. And at the end of the day, is there more beyond what we are? And maybe that's my own kind of spiritual awakening is no, we don't know everything that we think we quote unquote know. And beyond history repeating itself in terms of what you're talking about biblically, is there a reason for it? Is there justification for it? How many times have we reached this pinnacle as life on this planet only for it to have been wiped away? And that's looking at things like Atlantis. That's looking at things like...
but that's only under the assumption that we matter.
Right. True.
Why do we matter? Why do what we built why does that matter? You know what I'm saying? It could be a game, not a game, but a game in a sense.
Yeah.
Where each will give you an opportunity to build. It's The Sims. And then we're going to wipe it out. And we're going to give the next generation an opportunity to build and see what they do with it.
Yeah.
And we're just finding out now that we were never on the level of the motherfuckers back then.
Right.
We don't have the high score. We're finding that out now.
We're just now finding that out, right?
But what's interesting to me is usually you don't find that out until the end of the game. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm not, again, trying to be morbid or bleak or anything like that. But you usually don't get that information until the end of the game. So the great reveal is people finding out what they thought they knew is being confirmed, and others are shocked at the results.
Right.
But yeah. I don't know any game that I've ever played where you continue that knowledge into the next. You know what I'm saying? You may hit a checkpoint, but
well, even if you get a new game plus, yeah, you may start a little more advanced than what you were, but you still have to go through the same story,
right,
without the knowledge,
right.
Except for Starfield, which, by the way, all right, man. Well, I think this has been a great conversation. I think this is a good place to end it, unless you got anything else you want to talk about.
You know, love everybody and all that.
Good deal. Well, do us a favor. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell an enemy, tell them to troll.
That motherfucker.
And with all that,
Please.
peace out, folks.